that we can filter for qualifying sectors.
Ah,
Don't have the map up, it won't come up with the filters on the screen already.
okay. Yeah, please talk about that.
So if you don't have the map up, you won't see it.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Monday night. This is Gravel Trap Legends round 3 of Formula Inter. We are at the Jacaragua track, and we have an extra person with me this evening. In the commentary box, you've got myself, Tim Lawson, and with me is Neil Haynes and Jason Woods. Good evening, gentlemen.
Evening, Tim.
Yeah, good evening, Tim.
Guys, we've just jumped into the track map screen, so we'll have a quick read through that. So this is round 3. The date for this evening's race is the 28th of May 2023. The track is officially now referred to as the Autodromer International Nelson PK. It's 3.36 kilometres and 2.07 miles in the old school. The track was built between 1971 and 1977 on the site of the Barra da Chiga road circuit. The circuit was renamed to the Nelson PK circuit at the start of the 1988 Grand Prix season after Nelson PK took the 3rd World Title Championship at the end of 1987. The circuit's hosted almost every form of motorsport, both in 2 and 4 wheels, and the track was shortened to the version that we are racing on this evening in 2008. And sadly the track was decommissioned and demolished in 2016 to make way for the 2016 Summer Olympics. And we'll jump over to the leaderboard after the first 2 rounds, and also take note there are 2 races on each evening, and there are points for each race, and there's also points for the fastest lap. At the moment, Brett S sits on top with Petey and that boy sitting in 3rd. There are a number of people also fighting for that, and again points for both races this evening that could also upset the leaderboard. And we'll jump over to the target table. The target is made up of the fastest lap for each race and then compiled in a total. At the moment, Brett S is topping that table with 3 minutes and 38 seconds. Scar and Kiz also very close behind with the Bloody Nine at Norbs. Travis, Cuckoo, Petey, Esky and No Frills and That Boy and Brad all sitting within a couple of seconds of each other. Very, very tight for the target for the series, and whoever takes out the Inter leaderboard cannot win the target at the same time, so there will be 2 champions at the end of this race. Now, Neil, you were involved in the ACC Suzuka 12-hour on the weekend. How was that experience?
It was long. It was a very entertaining race. It's such a challenging track, as we know, with Suzuka, but definitely we were in an AM division, and we had a steady pace right through, but we got into a little bit of penalties with some blue flags, and also out of position at the start, and a couple of pit lane speed penalties as well. So it was a bit of up and down day, but 12 hours is a long time for 3 drivers, and I think our stints were about 70 minutes long each.
It sounds
and
like
we ended up finishing, I think it was 39th out of 46 starters, I think it was. So our best result since we've been running with 001. So we're pretty happy with that. We normally finish in the 40s, so to get into the 30s, we're pretty happy with that.
A good building block, and then the next Enduro coming up in around about 4 to 6 weeks time, I think. Very close together.
Yeah, 5 weeks at the new circuit, Valencia, I believe it's come to ACC, so it should be a fairly entertaining race there with 40 odd cars around that circuit. It'll almost be a full line of cars after the first hour or so, I reckon.
Yeah, I get the fun tomorrow night in the Rookie Series. We get to roll out there. I think we've got 35 cars on track tomorrow night, so that'll be a little bit of fun for me. And Jason is going to join us in the booth for the next 4 rounds. Neil is going to head off for an operation after this round. So Jason's jumped in this evening to get his head around the whole process for us broadcasting. And he's jumped out of the car. He would normally be racing with these guys. You might have seen him under the name of Old Woodsy. And how are you this evening, Jason?
I am excellent, actually. Thank you, Tim. Hey,
Tim?
so if...
Yep.
So they don't use the long course anymore?
No, the track was
Is that what
actually...
you were saying? They shortened it?
In 2008, the track was shortened officially to make way for the Summer Olympics, and the track was fully decommissioned in 2016, prior to the 2016 Summer Olympics. So this is another one of the tracks that no longer exists.
Okay. So the full course would have been the Formula 1 course, and the short one is the Formula Intercourse.
Yes,
Just getting the genital themes going early while we can.
Yep.
That's a very good one. I like that, Jason.
If you need filth, I'm your man.
Yeah, there you go. So what we got, we just under 20 minutes remaining to qualify, and they just sort of get themselves in, starting to put some banker laps in, as Petey up on pole position at this moment with a 1:16.4.
Yep, and we'll just
Who
take
do we
a
think,
we'll,
lad?
we'll just take a quick look at the weather forecast for this evening, because obviously that has been the conversation for first two rounds. This evening we're looking for a almost clear day, top temperature of 30 degrees, the relative humidity around 38%. There will be a light north-northeasterly around 13 kilometres an hour, and there is only 5% chance of a late shower.
Yeah, we'll hope those rain stays away, but you never know what might pop over the big hills behind these circuits. So keep an eye on that, especially for race 2, I think, Jason and Tim.
That'll make things fun.
It's only a short circuit, isn't it? Hence why it's called the Pagua, I think it is, Pagua.
Glad you can say it, because I certainly can't. I was trying just before.
Only 3.3 kilometre circuit with 7 corners, and obviously this run into the first corner, the hairpin that Stu's just gone through now, is going to be a little bit hectic, I reckon, for the start of this race. So it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, I had a quick run around here earlier today, and I was absolutely atrocious. Mac Attack, I would be down there with the back of the pack.
I haven't actually driven on this track yet with this car, so I probably should have done that.
What did surprise me is actually how fast this track was. Turn 1, which is the tight left-hander at the end of the start-finish line, is the only corner you get down to second gear. Everything else is pretty well third gear, fourth gear. And turn 5, which is the at the back of the circuit before they start turning back down, there's a great deal of banking on the track right there. You can really throw the car in. You've just got to be careful. The banking rolls out and rolls as you come out of the corner. It actually rolls back away, and it's easy to drift wide. Very deceiving. One of the flattest circuits through Brazil. There is very little rise or fall throughout this circuit. Pretty well you can see across the track from anywhere around. And the circuit itself had a capacity of 90,000 spectators in its heyday.
Yeah, well, it looks like there's money all down the big long straight, as well as we just see John Wade having a massive lose there on the exit of turn 3, as he'll have to reset. And I think Stu as well has a little spin as well, so they're all having a little slide. You can just see that long stand here along this straight. I can see that's probably where they get the 90,000 in this circuit.
That probably holds 80,000. That skin of Stu's just reminded me of the half hair on one side. Reminded me of when I was at about 16. I went to school one day and I'd only shaved half my face. And I didn't realise until one of my mates pointed it out. So then I had to say to everybody beforehand.
Just on the X. Yeah, they would be, but I'm just seeing here this exit, Tim. Oh, they're all coming off too. Is there must be something laying down here, but they're all having a problem on exit of turn 3.
That
so maybe
just trying to go through the gear shift. You can be quite aggressive through there, and if you drop down to try and grab third gear, the back of the car does step out.
Yeah, right. So it's like a little bit of a car park there. So we should wait to see. I'm sure we're going to see plenty of incidents through the race in there on the changeover from turn 2 and 3. And as the bloody 9 sees it very tight out of turn 5 onto the grass, he was up before that point, so he's lost quite a bit of time. So he's going to have to reset for another run around here with 15 minutes remaining. So who's our pick for pole position, guys?
Well, I think it's going to be hard to beat Petey. He seems on form, top of the leaderboard in the TT. He's not only a few tenths off his time now, even though he wasn't very confident when he'd get there. He's awfully close now.
Yes, he sure is. Maybe we might see something coming with Brett, but Travis Moan as well. He's pretty fast. He's in pits, probably just regroup and before he comes out again. As Petey's in the final sector, only 0.05 of a second down. And we'll see if he can get that little bit extra out of the exit of turn 7 on the start-finish straight.
I expect Gunn to put in a good lap too soon. He's usually right up there with B, and also Eskiman's another one that tends to put himself right up the front.
Yeah, they've been doing really well, all those drivers. So we'll go on.
Oh, go on.
I'm going to say we'll go on board once Esky Man comes around here. He's just up the top of turn 5. Oh, and a big incident. So maybe we won't get hold of Esky Man, as he's going to return back straight into the pits. So from what we've been seeing here, guys, this is going to be one hell of a race, I'd say.
Very crowded track too. We did think this at the start, that what is it, how many 20 odd cars on the track on a very short track? They're going to get in each other's way quite a bit.
Yeah, definitely. And Jay Walker's back again in 23rd at the moment. Let's see what he can do. He's up on a little bit there, but he's going to have to find a little bit more time. Bales is roughly 0.5 of a second faster than Walker at the moment.
That rear wing's not looking too healthy at the moment.
No, I'd say it's just a graphic thing there, Jason. As we know, he's probably been in the pits and hasn't actually had it fully repaired. I think you've got to actually come in for repairs instead of morphing into pit lane with things like that to fix up. But he looks like he's on the way to maybe just get in front of Bales here on this lap if he can keep it going through turn 7 and get a good exit. It'll be a quick, close time. Oh, and he goes a lot higher up into 19th, so that's a great run from Walker. And let's see if he can better that time a little bit later on. So Cuckoo in the coffee machine. And we'll go on board and enjoy a lap here around Zakarapakawa.
Watch him give it full beans.
That's right, he's full on.
That tyre wall is awfully close, isn't it, coming off that corner? That would be very easy to clip.
Yeah, it could put an end to your race fairly quickly too, especially if that happens with the pack behind you. You'd probably be bouncing off and then into the path of the other cars. You can see
First
this
lap, couple of people wide coming out of there. That could be very dicey.
Yeah, definitely. I'm not too sure who he's actually following at this stage. Cuckoo. He seems to be holding the same pace as Cuckoo, so it's not holding up Cuckoo's run at this stage.
And it could have actually helped him with the toe down that back straight too, so this could put him up quite a bit.
Oh, he's down though, about just over half a second down, so maybe this is just a lap just to get the tyre pressures up, Jace, and see if he can hit it here on this lap around.
Back attack's seems to be a little bit out of position. He's normally a top 10 kind of guy, so I expect him to push up in there soon.
Yeah, he's way down. He might have been a late joiner as well. He's been there for a little while though, so I reckon these times are going to come down fairly close with 11 minutes remaining.
Yeah, there's probably quite a few guys that haven't had the chance to get a good push lap in because just because of the crowded nature of the track.
As there we go, turn 3's got another victim. front of Cuckoo. And these
don't seem to have improved their times very much in the last few minutes, which surprised me. I thought they would have been able to push on and get a couple extra laps in.
yeah, exactly. It is a little bit strange at this stage as the Cuckoo is 0.3 down, so he's not going to find any time at the moment. But let's check up on Travis Moan in the Alien car.
I didn't realise that was named after a UFO incident in the town of Virginia.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
I had to look that up and see if it was actually legitimate, but yeah, there's a town called Virginia.
Well, it's all about the full Brazilian, isn't it, around here? So they know how to party as well, these Brazilians.
Guys, I've just got to jump in here. I've got to apologise. There is something wrong with the stream this evening. We don't actually have a live chat available to us. We must make a quick apology for that. Anyone watching, we do apologise. I'm unsure why it has all of a sudden decided to disconnect itself, but sometimes that's technology. Just under 6 minutes to go in qualifying, guys. Petey at the top with a 1:16.4. Talking earlier to the guys before we jumped into the race, they were talking about that being the benchmark potentially for qualifying. The question is, what do we expect for race pace?
Yeah, well, we know on Petey, he's going to be still pumping out the 16s, and you can see the top four already in the 16s, so I won't be surprised race pace will probably still hang around that time, to be honest, like for the leaders. And then we'll see a whole load of 17s. As there's a big spinner from Macatak, so he's pushing to try and get out of the bottom half of this grid. He's currently in 19th position. And the 97 in the Toucan car is having a hard time. And he's going to have to go around again now with 8 minutes remaining. You have to use this lap to try and find some space, which you should be able to find here if he just holds off behind the car that's just gone through. There's Mark 860 in the Hot Piranha car.
There's some great liveries, isn't there, this series?
Oh, they're sensational. The community.
Something I do love about GTL is the themes that they have for each series. It gets the old creative juices flowing with the guys that do the paint jobs.
Yeah, it sure does. Brings some great spectacle to the cars and changes up the in-game liveries, that's for sure.
And Stu has announced the livery competition for the Formula Inter. So any of these drivers can submit their current liveries, or they can create a new livery. The game was restricted to 22 liveries only. The field is a maximum of 30 drivers, so it does throw a little bit of a curveball. There are a few guys out on track that are driving on the same livery, so we just have to make sure that we are aware of who's who. But very impressed the effort that's gone into match the helmets up to the liveries on the car.
So I think G-Dude and Dat Boy are running the same skin, aren't they? They've got the very colourful one, the carnival colour scheme.
Yeah, I think so, and also Scar 666 running the same one as a couple of the other guys too, I think. I don't know if it's Truey. Seeing what yes, there you go, Scar goes up. No, it's not Truey. I'm sure we'll see through it somewhere along the line where there's another person that's got the same as Scar.
He's sponsored by the band Sepultura, one of the famous metal bands from Brazil.
That's exactly right.
And I believe Stu and Esky Man are sharing the same half Brazilian race car.
Yeah, the pink car.
So there's
half
two in
and
the
half.
pink.
That's it. So that'll be Esky Man and Stu, you're correct. We're just trying to see here with the alien car of Travis Moan. We just think I missed the final sector, so we'll have to see if this has been a hot lap. under 6 minutes remaining. And we have got the top 10 all under a second from one another. So going to be a very competitive field. And then the top 10 down to 20 separated by a second roughly themselves. So it's definitely going to be a hard one to follow, this race. There's going to be a lot of battles right through the field. So I'm sure we'll be entertained right through this race. 25-minute race from memory again, guys.
Correct. 25 minutes plus 1.
It's not a lot of fuel either, so the race times could probably be quite quick. Not far off their qualifying times. It's not like they've got to drag a whole heap of fuel around. The tyres probably... How are the tyres on these? Do they go off much over that distance?
No, no one's made any comments about how the car, and this is one of the flatter tracks. The cars do slide around quite a bit, and I think the guys at the top you'll find will be pushing them around a little bit like the BMW M1. They will be able to sort of get that 2-4-wheel drift and slide through the corners to maximise the apex pace.
So where do we think the passing opportunities are going to be here tonight? Definitely turn 1, possibly at the end of, maybe at the end of that long straight if they can get alongside.
Well, ironically, turn 1 is the only one where you really have to hard on the brakes down, second gear to get a good drive out of there. Turn 2 is actually full noise, 4th gear. You've got a little lift just to get the nose of the car to turn in. So it's really, someone who got the slipstream may be able to get the advantage down the inside through there, but they're just going to have to pay attention that the car goes full noise into here, but you have to get a little lift to get the turn. It tightens up a little bit just there on the apex, and then opens back up again. And back down to 3rd gear here, again, just getting the car to rotate. There's a slight bank on the track. Full noise 4th gear through here. Braking down to 3rd gear. Braking zone into here. But the bank on the track just there fades away, and that's where I was saying it's very easy to oversteer out of the circuit coming out of turn 5. And also through turn 6, you can do it in 4th gear, but you need the 3rd gear to get the power back down again. So I'm thinking into turn 1, maybe the slipstream down into turn 2. Definitely advantage of braking and getting the better line through turn 3. Into turn 5, and again getting the good power down and getting an advantage driving out of turn 7 onto the start-finish line.
There are quite a few mistakes into turn 3 too, so that could be a place where some guys are able to capitalise on someone running a little bit wide.
Yeah, I think that's exactly right. I think you hit the nail right there, mate, because I think that this is the point here, this turn 3 that we're just watching Joshua Hill here. If cars start getting a little bit unstable, it's where cars can try and duck down the inside of this little full flat out turn 4 kink and then set them up at turn 5 here to get a nice run down the inside. And if they can't make that, obviously, and get the power on, you'll definitely see a move down here into turn 6. So maybe this corner here, I reckon, guys, maybe turn 6 might be an option where we might see cars finalise that move.
And especially the track being so flat that it is easy to get the car a little bit out of shape. You can't take too much of the ripple strip on the outside of the corner. It does suck you out into the grass, and there is a big chunk of time lost for anyone that gets out there. And
so that last 2 minutes.
That tyre barrier that you spoke about at coming out of turn 1 is also going to be a big discussion point.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a few rear wheels hitting that one as they come out. Oh, is that one of the think cars just then? Looked like it got awfully close to it.
Yeah, I think Mac Attack's one that also found himself in that barrier, so he's obviously just making sure everything's all right before he tries to see if he can have another run, because he's really got to stay on circuit. But there is definitely damage at the front of that car, so keep that tyre wall. He's going to have some sort of impairment there in that handling of that car, so I don't think he's going to better his time of a 118.7. So Mac Attack we're going to see probably down the back of the grid and see what he can do, but he can work his way up in the top 10, guys. As we know, race 2 is a reverse grid of the top 10 drivers, so if he can push his way up through a few spots, which we know he's got the pace, There's No Frills has a moment there at turn 3, so
Yeah,
we've seen plenty of action here at turn 3.
I think there's going to be a whole lot of action in the race.
And that's
Yes,
actually a talking point that was up in the chat earlier, talking about being able to heel to toe and the down blip through the gears. There is a lot of compression lock on the back of these cars coming down from 4th into 3rd. If you don't wash off those revs on the car and you try to drop those gears too quickly, the back of the car will step out.
yeah, right. So Travis Moan is not going to be putting a time down here. He's not going to get through the start-finish line, so only 15 seconds to go. I don't think he's going to have time to start at a lap, so he's not going to improve on this second place that he's currently in. It's going to be awfully close, but that line is just going to be that little bit too long for him, and it's over. So he was probably only 1 second short to finally get that final lap. So it looks like Brett might be the last car. So we'll stay on Brett to see what he can do, as he's currently 4th. And I guess he would love to have that inside run on the second grid. So if he can get the in front of Gunner, he'll be a very happy man.
Standing start for the first race too, I believe, and rolling start for the second.
That is correct.
The one thing with Brett, I've known Brett for quite a long time, probably 15, 20 years, and he's very, very consistent. He's very fast, rarely makes a mistake, and he's always there to capitalise when some of the guys in front of him have something unfortunate happen to him. I think he won the BMW championship, didn't he, the Pro Car Series? And a lot of it was because of that, and there he goes, he just made a mistake.
I think because he knows his time was no good, he got held up a little bit there, so he knew he was finished there. So I think, I'm just trying to see who else might be the last one. It might be Jay. No, he's already done. It's the last car coming across now, I think. It should be all over.
So not a lot of movement after the early time in that session. They pretty much set very early on. I wonder if the track conditions changed or the temperature changed over the course of the event. But not a lot of movement at all.
So Petey keeps it on pole though. So well done on your prediction there, Jason. You've got that one already. So Petey will start first with Travis Moan just alongside him. But he will find himself, I believe, on the outside. Though he's going to have the inside run down into turn 1 by the looks of that. So that's a disadvantage, I'd say, for the pole sitter to be on the outside. But I guess if he can hang it around the outside, we've got to be careful of that wall, that tyre barrier, don't we, guys? There's Gunner in 3rd and then Brett on 4th. So he's going to try and follow Travis down the inside of turn 1. So keep an eye on Brett, because he may come out of that, maybe even in 2nd position. So he could gain 2 positions here. Cuckoo in the coffee car in 5th, Scar in the Sepultura 666 car in 6th position on row 3. Brad Luck there in 7th with John Wade in the 2nd of the number 52 Manscaped cars. No Frills. We've seen him hiding out in the grass every now and then in that camouflage car as Esky Man in the half Brazilian. With Joshua Hill, Norbs. He's the car that I was trying to find who was driving during qualifying. So he's the yellow and black type car. G-Dude in the all yellow car in 13th. Mark in 15th. Dat Boy in the all Carnival car in 15th. And the Bloody Nine will be in 16th. So I think we're about to start, guys. So we'll get up there onto the front of the grid. And we may just try and have a look at Travis. We'll have a look at Peter to see how he actually gets going here, as he's been able to get the jump, I think, on Travis, but I don't think he's going to be able to pull it down the inside. So
I think Travis is... Oh, no, Peter was able to clear him.
It is a quite tight apex through there, so they probably had to wash off a little bit too much space to get the car to turn in. So that still gave Petey the advantage around the outside. The guys should start to find through here, where it looks like without commentator's curse, they've all managed to pass through turn 1 without any issue.
Yeah, they seem to be going fairly slow though, so maybe we did have a safety car, virtual safety car called at the start. So it looks like they're all running single file here for safety cars. There's a couple of cars at the back. We've got Max Power and Truey. Doesn't look like any damage on the cars, so bit of a strange one there, guys.
Yeah, I think Mac Attack dropped back a couple of positions, so maybe he was involved there.
There may not necessarily been an issue. I think a few guys struggled to get off the line and might have stalled the car. So it just could be a start to allow everyone to get back into the pack.
Yeah, and it's a very busy pack indeed with 24 cars on track. And we've got obviously Brad Luck and the other crew. They're coming into... So these guys are the ones that obviously had some damage. So they come into pit lane for some repairs. So they've been able to escape the crew. So Petey has got the lead of the race, and they'll probably wait at the end of pit exit for these guys to come through. So this is exactly what Petey would be wanting to see here, having this single file restart. And he can basically get himself eyes forward and not have to worry about these cars trying to duck down the inside. As here he goes, he's taken a nice easy lead into turn one, but look at all the late breakers, as we've got John Wade on the inside of Scar.
And that
outside, from the outside.
Yeah, that tyre bundle is not a place where you want to visit at this stage of the race. Everyone has managed to get through there quite cleanly, and both of the cars are now out of the pits. So we are back to full course with all cars running.
Yeah, it looked like Gunner was going to have a little look, but here we come into this troublesome turn 3. So we'll keep an eye. As we can see, there's the first one, Travis Moan out wide, but he's trying to hold on to it, but he's lost 2 places.
He's done well to recover that. Most of the people we saw in qualifying there ended up spinning off.
Yes, I think there's just Maxi's going off just to avoid a car, I think it was, there. So sorry about trying to find what was going on there.
That might have been Josh Hill. Or was he, did he go to the pits? I think he dropped back quite a way too.
Yeah, so there's a couple there that had, oh, big moment for...
That's Norbs.
That's Norbs.
Yeah, Norbs has had a big one. So that will be a safety car. He's lost his rear wing and everything.
And he may be just past the pit exit too, so I don't know whether he'll be able to go straight in.
You'll have to do a big flick and go straight 90 degrees.
No, he's continuing on, is he?
It's a very, very tight entrance there. He just sneaks in.
Just made it.
But he's turned his car into a Formula V by the looks of that.
Yeah, that or a little Formula Ford or something like that. So, yes, there you go. So Gunner is been able to benefit from Travis Moan's little hiccup out of turn 3. That's been the hot spot that we've talked about during qualifying.
Gunn was looking very racy in those first couple of corners too at the restart, so he might try and get a run on Petey, I'd say, and try and capitalise early on while the tyres are still good.
Yeah, exactly right, Jason. I think that's exactly what obviously Gunner needs to do, because they know that Petey has got that pace, and the only way that these guys are going to be able to topple Petey is obviously to try and ruffle him up a little bit. We have seen Petey crumble under a little bit of pressure in the previous rounds where he had to come back from a little mistake, but we'll see if Gunner can force that mistake.
So guys, you are with Gravel Trap Legends for the Formula Inter here on Monday evening with TVJP Sim Racing. Thank you guys for joining the stream. There's a few guys watching at the moment. We must apologise. There is an issue with the stream this evening. We don't have an available live chat. We do apologise for that. But don't be afraid, guys. We're going to keep bringing you the commentary for this. At the moment, we're under a virtual safety car. We had Norbs have a massive moment coming down out of turn 6. The guy should be...
He's in an odd spot too. In between the corners, so I'm wondering if he tangled with someone.
I think he had a little bit of a help on that, because it did spit the car sideways straight into the barrier. Pretty well halfway down that straight between turn 6 and turn 7.
Tell you what, this pit crew looks like they're having ice cream. They're not doing much for Norps. He's just sitting there thinking, come on guys, fix us up. We got to get out of here. Here we go. So race is about to start. Restart again with 19 minutes remaining. And it looks like Gunner has obviously missed that jump. But as they all filter through, he turned 1. Oh, there's a moment down here. There's 4 wide on the exit. And they're bumping wheels as they're trying to stay away from that wall that we're talking about, the tyre bundle. As Esky Man having a look at Scar down the inside of turn 2. As he's going to find himself in the wrong position for turn 3.
And hopefully he doesn't run too wide onto that. No, he's backed out. Smart thing.
Oh,
No, he's going to stay there and have another crack into the next corner.
so nice drive in by Esky as he's pushed Scar right out, and Scar's trying to rejoin if he can, but he's still on that grass. He's going to find it hard now. There's no bite in those front right corners. He's just kept it off the wall. So big moment for Scar, and look at this. He was all the way battling, I think it was we saying Esky Man? And now he's all the way into 23rd, so he was 6, and he's dropped all the way down to 23rd. Cruel blow for Scar.
But kept it off the wall, so no pit stop required. He can get his focus back, bring his heart rate back down, and get eyes on. He will make his way, I'm sure, back up through the field. But heat is on at the moment. We talk about Brett S at the start of the race. He's our fan favourite at the moment. Whether he can find the pace to catch up to Petey is going to be the question now, because he is the fastest car on track.
Yeah, I'm just trying to find, it wasn't just the bloody 9, I think it was. I might be picking up the wrong way. There was a battle here. It's actually G-Dude holding off No Frills. And No Frills trying to go around the outside of turn 3. We know how much this has been a problem, but he's kept it on the black stuff, only just. As the car's gone way off, it's max power. Can't even see where his car is there. Oh, there it is, because we're just finding he has turn 3. He's out. Rejoining.
I think he's gone off signing autographs. He's a very popular boy.
He's a popular boy. There's another car out, which I think it looks like Jay Walker, maybe. As it looks like a few cars coming into pit lane here, so maybe we've got a safety car, I'm not too sure, but Scar 666 will be happy to see a safety car at this stage. Try and see if we can bunch this field up, but we'll pick up the leaders here. Looks like they're still going at a reasonable pace, so there's obviously no safety car.
The track has spread out a little bit now. There's a big moment for Petey, and that is the compression lock for dropping down a gear.
There you go, Tim. You've been talking about that all night so far during the qualifying. And where's he going to come out? He's going to have to filter through. There's a little gap in the track here, but all the way down in 14th position. So he's going to be a little bit annoyed with himself here. But there's a car just off of turn 3, and he's just been able to get through. I think it was maybe Stu. So Stu's had a moment out of turn 3 in the half Brazilian. Wants to be Brazilian, but still doesn't know where he's at the moment. Oh, another sideways moment.
Yes, it's a real challenge to get these cars around the track. It's amazing how loose it, like I said, is very similar, and the car looking facing the wrong way there. I'm not too sure.
Jay Hill.
Jay Hill.
I think it is. So he's getting his car going again. So plenty of things going on here, but there's a nice little battle pick here with Cuckoo trying to hold off Esky Man, who's in the second half Brazilian.
Esky was the fastest man on track not long ago too. He was matching Petey's time, so the 1:16.9.
Yeah, so we'll see him if he can, as he's almost get into the back of the gearbox. Esky Man was almost getting the back of the gearbox here of Cuckoo.
And there is another consideration too for this track. Now that we've got 20 or 30 cars running around here, the track will be starting to rubber in, but anywhere off that racing line, it will get quite loose. So we could see some of the guys just drift a little too wide, get out into the pebbles on the outside of the racing line. That could also be affecting how these cars actually feel and the attitude of these cars, which could explain why some of the guys are struggling to keep it on the black stuff.
Macatak's made his way back up into 11th, considering he had that issue early on. Dropped near the back of the race, near the back of the field.
Yeah, and that's what we were saying. And too at the start, like he qualified, I think in 22nd or 23rd position. He was way down, and his aim is obviously to get into that top 10 and benefit from the reverse grid. But the way he's going, he may see himself battling into contention to be up around 8th or 7th, maybe. Before the end of this race.
New father too, so there's a good chance that he may want to fall asleep halfway through the race.
So maybe try and get all his effort done in this race, as you never know what might happen. As we've got just a slow car off to the side here, as letting these cars down as a go because they're a lap down. All the blue dots that you see on the map, the cars that are a lap down or going to be a lap down to the car that we're watching.
We can see Petey now sitting up onto the back of Macatak, doing a great job working his way back through this pack.
He's going to be very dirty with himself for that mistake, a win thrown away, so he's going to be full charge now.
Yeah, he's going to have to be though, because he's got Petey right behind him in position 12 now, so you're going to have a fired up Petey, knowing that he needs to get in the top 10.
1.2 seconds faster than Mac on that last lap. He's one of the few guys racing around in the 17s at the moment.
And Brett S has found some pace, trying to catch up to the back of Gunner to make a battle. He did drift up to almost 2.2 seconds. But now obviously a little bit of clean track for the two guys at the front, and Brett at the moment over nearly half a second faster than Gunner on that last lap. As Petey makes a move.
Macatak around the outside there, and he's held the position.
Yeah, it's a good move from Macatak, and he's using the benefit of that. Oh, there's a moment there of one of the cars at turn 3 rejoining, being off the track. That was close.
Is that boy? I think he's dropped back a couple of divisions, hasn't he?
Yeah, I'm not too sure. Pixel Boy is obviously a lap down. But we'll go back up to here with this battle here with
that boy's jumped on the back of
Petey. Macatak's up in the 9th position, so we've missed up. So something happened there in front of him. So now they're all up in the top 10. And this is a array of colourful cars from Macatak and Dat Boy behind, and Petey joining in with their flavour as well with some nice colours. But he's got the inside again. He tried this the previous lap, but Macatak was able to hang it around the outside. As Jason said, he was very brave, and this time it looks like Petey tried to show him the outside, planted in the middle of the track, but here he goes again. No, there's a little touch into turn 3, and that has spun Mac around just half of a spin, but he's going to now drop a few more places. But it looks like Petey was able to hold it onto the circuit, luckily. But up in front, I think it may be Esky Man having a look at Cuckoo. There's Gunner's benefit as well. Got a nice little margin of 1.5 seconds on Brett, and they're sort of lapping around the same time. And here we go down the inside turn 1, but it's a tough corner to try and make a pass.
Done the wide entry so that he can get a good exit out of here, hopefully try and get a run on Cuckoo down the straight, but he might be just a fraction too far behind to get side by side with him like Petey and Mac did just before.
While we're having a look, we might as well go on board, Tim, so for the viewers, as we can just see the attitude here into turn 3, and that's a moment So
Prepare for strikes again.
that is just a lethal corner.
And
Cuckoo looked like he was getting sideways in front there anyway, and it's
And
almost like it
you
threw
could
Esky a little bit.
see the attitude of the cars at the back there. It is full noise, fourth gear coming around out of turn 2. And it's at that point, as soon as that car straightens up, you have to be hard on the brakes and down to third gear to get the car to turn back in. That's where the guys are getting that the change, trying to throw the car around and dropping down the gear. The back of the car stepping out. It's a very fine line between controlled slide and passenger drift.
Yeah, but exactly what Jason was saying too, Tim, as well. I think that with Esky Man having a little bit of a moment, I think it was that made Petey go off. Or who was it? Who we were told Petey was having a little bit of a moment?
Cuckoo just in front of Esky Man. He got a little bit sideways, and then
That's
Esky
right.
followed him.
Yes. And No Frills he's having a great run actually. He had a rotten first round. The last week's round he did pretty well in the camo car.
Oh, that was awfully close. I thought he was going to drop a wheel off then. Looked like he might have lost a bit of time to the bloody 9.
Yeah, I think he thought he was going to. I think he was off throttle, cringing. Probably had his butt cheeks clenched up. But it looks like down the inside we've got the bloody 9 thinking about it, but no. Fast entry into turn 6.
It's a little blip down to third gear and then hard on it. The car just sticks into here and drifts out. He's going to set himself up now for the drive down into turn 1 and a maximum exit out of turn 1 to get the bump draft coming down the straight and try and catch him into turn 2. I think a little hard on the brakes there, just unsettling the car. I think he got a little too close into the back of Cuckoo there.
As Travis Moans benefit from the bloody 9 going hot into turn 1. And he's just not been able to try and get his nose down the inside of turn 2.
And Travis may be carrying a little bit of extra rear wing on his car there. I thought he might have had the pace to keep up with the bloody 9.
There's another good little battle brewing just behind these guys still with Esky Man. Oops, I think there was there a move coming up in here into turn 6? No.
And G-Dude and Scar are having a fantastic battle for 12th position.
They sure are. This is a three-way battle with Mark just in front of them. The Eager Beaver. Bit of a fan favourite as well.
Oh, we all love a beaver.
Don't we all? And that's his fastest time of the race as well.
In an awkward position here, he's going to try and go around the outside. Can he do it? No, not quite.
Disadvantaged. You see the drive there out of the corner. Fantastic move by Scar.
Yeah, Scar just basically said, well, if you're going to go around the outside, we'll keep you out there. But here comes G-Dude back down the inside. But, yeah, you don't want to be poking noses down here into turn 2, such a fast corner.
You guys do well all to get through there. Reset themselves now. G-Dude will start to focus on whether he's going to make a move coming into turn 6. It's looking for a good drive out of turn 5. Hasn't been able to get a close enough margin. Yep, 4 minutes and 40 seconds left to go.
Yeah, it's a great system that they run here, Gravel Trap Legends, where at least in the last 5 minutes is just all-out racing as well. No more calls of the full course yellow for the safety car.
Looks like Mark 860 has a little bit of advantage here with G-Dude and Scar battling it out. It's given him a little bit of track space. to get some comfortable margin over the Scar.
And Petey's now just got in front of Eskiman into turn 2. So here he's on his charge back up through the grid after he spun it around in this corner at turn 2. Oh, turn 3's been another victim for Petey. Has claimed another victim, I should say. Had a big tank slapper.
Petey's chance now is to try and gain the fastest lap of the race. I think it's a 1:16.9 Brett laid down earlier. So anything under that, if Petey can manage to get the bonus point for the fastest lap, that will probably be a good salvage for him at this stage. A 1:16.86 for Brett in the last lap.
Yeah, pretty intense paces here. And remember, we've got the one extra lap after the timer does go to 0. So if they haven't crossed the start-finish line at that time, they'll have to come around and do another lap.
The tyres are holding on well too. We were talking about that at the start of the race, how that go, but getting the fastest lap now with only a couple of minutes to go, the tyres are definitely holding on well. The guys are able to push still.
Is these cars running on their hard tyre, and I think the guy said they can do 40 or 50 laps before they start to see any change in the performance or the attitude of the car. So 25-minute race should be fine for these guys.
Yeah, just a little shout out also to Jay Walker, as he's been able to keep his position roughly of where he qualified, and he's been able to avoid a lot of the incidents. He's running on his own. And obviously it's a good way to be introduced into the series and be able to have a little bit of a run on your own, but you wouldn't have thought that would have happened around this circuit. They're all sort of spaced out a little more than what I thought there was going to be here.
Down to the final 2 minutes. Guys, for watching the stream, thank you very much. If you do want to see an in-car stream for this evening, Joshua Hill is streaming live tonight. You can see an in-car stream for Joshua Hill. Check him out on YouTube. But guys, thank you for watching our stream this evening. Full commentary coming. We're going to take a quick break at the end of race 1, about a 4-minute break between race service while we set up the new server for race 2, and we'll be back live. But 1.5 minutes to go now. Gunner's got a good margin at the moment over Brett S. Cuckoo looks like he's been comfortable in 3rd position, but as we've seen, you've still got to keep the car on the black stuff. It doesn't make much to make a small error around here, and you can easily drop back the pack.
We just saw the bloody 9 go off at turn 3, lost the position to Travis Mode.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I've just seen it. I was just misclicking early enough, but that's exactly what happened. So turn 3, everyone's going to have nightmares of turn 3 after this round.
And you'll have nightmares of turn 3 and turn 2.
And look at this, Dat Boy trying to see if he can make a move on Scar to get into position 10, because remember, position 10 will have pole for race 2. So at this stage, Scar is sitting good for race 2 to be on the front of the grid. And I believe that Scar does have the pace to probably try and take victory at race 2 if he does start on the front row. So he will be defending like nothing else to make sure he stays there. He does not want to give that up to Dat Boy, Mark, or G-Dude in that matter. So we'll keep an eye on this battle, because this is fairly important for the outcome for the start of race 2.
Colour scheme on this car always reminds me of Marge Simpson's face when Homer shot her with the makeup gun.
There you go.
It's very Ken Doane, actually, isn't it? You remember Ken Doane from the 80s?
Yes.
Everything was colourful of his.
Definitely.
Oh, little bit of a rear step out there, and that has cost him. As we can see, Mark 860 now slides up into 11th spot. That's a reprieve now for Scar. He should be feeling fairly comfortable with the pressure off. We see one of the cars on the infield there, not where they want to be.
Oops, I think that, well, I'm not too sure there, but yeah. Where were we before we were on Scar? Just extended that gap, but Mark now under intense pressure from Dat Boy. Wants that position back. G-Dude's just dropped a little bit behind these guys as we're going to be on the last lap this time around, guys. The time's exhausted. So without Scar having any issues, we should see him come home in 10th position in the black Sepultura car. But it's all about this man, Brett S., who's actually taken that spot from Gunner. Was that a while ago, guys? Sorry,
I didn't notice it, but Guns dropped back quite a bit there.
So
Yeah,
Gunner has obviously had some issue or carrying a little bit of damage now, so he must have had it off, because there was around about 2.5 second gap between Brett and Gunner, so that's a 5-second change.
And his last lap time was 2.3 seconds down on Brett, so he probably had an incident that last lap that we missed.
Yeah, so it's big congratulations to Brett S. in the number 52 all men's grooming manscaping Nads car.
But the talking point here is, Neil, is the reverse grid for the top 10. So starting race 2 will be Scar from pole position with Kiz alongside, Esky Man and Petey, the Bloody Nine with Travis Moan, No Frills and Cuckoo, and Gun and Brett will be on row 5. And then Mark 860, Dat Boy, Mac Attack, G-Dude, and the rest of the field will be back behind them.
Yeah, definitely. So it was a good run by this man, Mac Attack, as I said. He didn't quite get up to the 10, but after a poor qualifying session, he's been able to salvage some good positions as the guys are doing some burnouts down the end there. This is a little battle here for 17th here between Jay Walker and Truey. It's definitely on into the final corner. Oh,
no.
Jay Walker's big sideways, and Truey had to back off there. So this is good respect for everyone here through Gravel Trap Legends. We're not public lobbies. The public lobby, that car would have probably just ploughed the side of Truey. So well done to everyone.
So just quickly running through the order there, Brett S taking it out over Gun, Cuckoo over No Frills, Travis Moan, the Bloody Nine, Petey over Esky Man, Kiz and Scar round out our top 10. Mark 860, this will work for me, Mark 860, and then Dat Boy, Mac Attack over G-Dude, Joshua Hill, Stu in 16th, Jay Walker in 17th, Truey 84, John Wade at Norbs back in 20th after an early incident, Bales McKenzie, Pixel, Max Power and Brad Luck rounding out our 24. Unfortunately, Brad was a retirement in that. Guys, we're going to take a quick break now. We'll be back with race 2 in around about 4 or 5 minutes. Stay with us. Welcome back to Gravel Trap Legends on Monday night. So this is the Formula Inter round 3 at Jacapragu, the historical 2012 short track. We have completed race 1. The guys are just resetting the server for race 2. A quick shout out to one of the promos that we have running for this event is Sim House in Sydney at number 20, 361 Milpara Road in Bankstown. If you have never been in a full modulator sim, these guys can hook you up. Get in there and see Shane. He will get you all fitted out. Do a lap around Monaco and experience the ups and downs of in a real motion sim. Guys, we are coming back live now. The cars are on grid. Neil, have you got the telemetry there for the starting position for race 2, or would you like me to go?
Yeah, we got definitely. So we've got Scar, who we're looking at the just on the background of Max Power. What a great shot we've got there, guys. At the moment, we've got obviously the center livery of Max Power, and homage to the famous Brazilian racer, and obviously the Sepultura 666 car of Scar. So he will have pole as he was in position 10. In the last race. With then Kiz will be in second. Esky Man will be third. Petey will be fourth. Fifth will be the Bloody Nine on the third row, alongside with Travis Moan in sixth. Seventh will be No Frills. Eighth will be Cuckoo. And then on row 5 we'll have Gunner in ninth, and Brett S will be in 10th. And then after that, obviously, it will be the positions of how everyone finished, which was Mark 860 was in 11th. But we're going to have this first lap as their formation, so we'll keep our view here on Scar as he will get through the field from the back to take first place. And all the other cars will start to filter through. And it'll be a rolling start.
I expect that second row is going to be interesting with both Petey and Esky. Might be right at the front too, because they were both very, very quick in that first race. They were both well into the 16s with their fastest laps. So I think they're going to give that front row a real hurry up very quickly.
Yeah, they were sure pretty fast. As you said, there was a 16.7 from Petey.
He had a 16.7.
So that was the fastest lap of the race.
Only 0.3 of a second off his pole lap.
Yeah, that's sensational. So he obviously had the grit between the teeth after he had that spin from losing the lead. So you can just see as they come down here, which is probably the main straight of the circuit.
And
he's making his way through.
This was almost 1.1 kilometres long on the full section of the circuit. We can see the overlay on the screen at the moment. And in 1983, the turbo-powered Formula 1 cars were reaching well over 300 kilometres an hour along the start-finish straight through there.
I believe they used to run Indy cars here as well, because there's that big four-cornered oval.
Yes.
So this will be our grid, guys. We've obviously got you on the leaders, the stands you should see on the top left here running down. So we've got Scar on pole with Kiz, Esky Man, and then we'll have Petey, the Bloody Nine. Will be in 5th position with Travis Moan behind him, or beside him with No Frills. And Cuckoo, Gunner, who we missed how he lost the lead of the race actually, so he will be in 9th position with Brett, who won the race of race 1 in 10th position. Mark 86 obviously was looking to find that top 10, and he was battling away fairly hard with G-Dude as well. And then Dat Boy, and probably one of the most colourful cars on the grid there in 12th position. But here's the field coming through 2 by 2 into turn 7, the final corner. So we will pick up Gar as he will have the lead of this race on the outside. And we could imagine Kiz trying to see if he can get this jump. They can't overtake before the start-finish line, so they're holding their positions, and it looks like Scar is going to hold this off. But it's Kiz late on the brakes into turn 1, but he's defending now with Esky Man, who's getting caught out on the outside. Petey's trying to see if he can filter through down the inside, but no, Esky Man's been able to cover down the inside into turn 2 now. Nice drive by Esky.
Very well behaved in the first lap there. No safety car like in the last one. Esky's going to try and go on the outside, is he? No. Let's see who can get through turn 3 without incident this one while the tyres are cold.
Looks like they've all behaved themselves. Norbs again, way out on the outside, rejoining the circuit. Oh, big moment for Mac Attack. Is he going to stay off the wall? No, he doesn't. Into the wall.
He's had a shocker of a night, hasn't he?
Oh, mate, he has. He's actually, well, he did and he didn't. He had just qualified, didn't qualify too well, but I think his race 1
got
did
right up
pretty
into
good.
the top 10.
Yeah, finished in 13th or something like that, so...
Esky's quietly gone through to second too. We missed that one. Got in front of Kiz.
Yeah, so the 2 team cars are coming down through in 3rd and 4th, with Kiz just leading his faster teammate of Petey, but Petey wants a little bit of this action into 3rd position. Nice clean move.
Guard taking the money and run. He's got a 2.1 second lead at the moment, so he's taken advantage of that incident, whatever happened between Kiz and Esky.
Look at this. Oh, there's a little bit of a tangle here. I think they've been able to get away with that, but that boy going to go 2, but it looks like Jay Hill's having a big moment. Yes, he is. Spinning out there at turn 2, and there's another car as well with him. I think it might be the Bloody 9. So that's unlucky for the Bloody 9. He was on for a good race, as here comes Norbs from being out on the first lap.
One of the rare series where Norbs doesn't run an orange and blue car. That's traditionally his colour, so he's gone for the corporate look, being a member of Reza.
Yeah, there he goes.
That's one thing I wouldn't call Norbs, is a corporate man.
No. Very nice fella too, Norbs. Full of wealth and knowledge.
Yep.
And likes a joke every now and then. But Mac Attack in pit lane, so I don't know if he's moving off his parked it. No, he's coming out by the looks of it. That blue dot is slowly moving. But Kiz, as Travis Moan tries to do the over and under.
I think he could get a run on him here too. See if he can. Oh, he's going to tuck in behind, see if he can get the slipstream. And he's got Kuka right behind him, who's going to capitalise if anything happens between these two. Oh, and there's an incident in the background.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. It's all happening back
looks like
here.
Drew
Josh
has had an incident, and I think we've got a safety car, do we?
Yeah, it looks like that will be a safety car, because I think it was actually Truey and Joshua Hill. So this is going to bunch them all up again. And this is exactly what Petey wants. So it's working in his hands. So Scar will be not a very happy man there, because he was starting to get away a little bit.
Yeah, perfect for Esky. Scar was 6 tenths quicker on that last lap too, so he was pulling out a nice little lead there.
Look at Stu up into 12th position. So this is a very good, this could be one of his best races of the series so far. We haven't seen him up so high.
Brett and Gunn have both made up a couple of positions too. They're in 7th and 8th.
There's one of the cars filtering up through the field to get into pit lane that was caught up in that accident in turn 1. And in goes another one of the cars, but here we go. We should be about to start again. And Esky Man's got to be careful he doesn't cop a penalty here from any stewards having a look later on, or there's another lap maybe. It looks like they're going to do another lap, so if they were going to go there, I thought he was a little bit behind. What did your thoughts there, Jason? He was...
Yeah, I thought he was
4 or 5 cars behind Scar at that time.
I thought he was... I thought the same as you, that we were going to go racing again, and he might have missed the boat getting up behind them. Looks like they're going to go for another lap, possibly to allow the guys in the pits to repair their cars and get back out.
Yeah, what does the front of Esky Man's helmet say? You might not be able to see it if you've got a bit of a pickled screen, but it's got "Tickle Me," I think it's got on the front of his helmet there. So yeah, going for the little half Brazilian, like a little sneaky tickle.
And guys, we are watching Gravel Trap Legends on this Monday night. This is the Formula Inter Series, round 3 as Jacapago in Rio de Janeiro. Unfortunately, this track has officially been decommissioned in 2016, but thanks to sim racing, we get to enjoy all the thrills of this track in all of its glory. There are, I think, 6 different separate layouts available, from the original Formula 1 track from the 1970s and early 80s right through to the short version that we are racing on this evening.
So we're going to see something from Bales as well. Normally he's sort of up a little bit higher, but with this angry mid-pack, he's sort of been struggling to try and get out of it.
I don't think Bales has been doing a whole lot of practice either lately. I think he's been working quite hard. He tends to jump in sometimes at the last minute and try and make the most of it while he can and just work his way through the field.
Yeah, so he's not doing not a bad job for someone that doesn't get too much time. But also, I think it's a big welcome back to Smithy. He wasn't here for race 1, so he is one of the cars that is just behind Bales McKenzie in the 666 Sepultura car, like the leader.
Definitely up behind him now for the restart.
Yeah, so no penalty for him at all. The stewards won't be looking at that, but he's very tucked under the gearbox. But look at Petey. He is getting under the challenge of Keys early on, as we're almost 3 wide, and it was almost going to end in tears. So they're all trying to stick their nose down into turn 1, but they look like they're getting out through turn 1 without incident, which was lucky, because sometimes when they start tagging, they'll find themselves then into the tyre barriers on the outside.
I'm very surprised that didn't have a bigger effect after that. We thought that could have gone very badly.
Yeah, so it was lucky. We did have a car up in the air though, so we'll have to just double check that's not going to cause any drama.
I think that was Travis into the back of Kiz, so there's a good chance that Travis has got damage to the front as well.
There's Dat Boy having a little tag there of Cuckoo, so into turn 5. And he's coming under a lot of fire from Brett and John Wade, both in the same Manscaped car, of the blue car behind the All Carnival car of Dat Boy. And down the inside, Cuckoo is trying to have a look at Kiz at the same time.
Esky hasn't let Scar get away this time. He's right up behind him, and Petey's up there as well. Here we go. Petey's going to try and get the run on Esky down the back straight. If these two start fighting with each other, they might just let Scar get away a little bit. Looks like he's got just a couple of car lengths over those two guys now.
Yeah, they've actually, these 3 have actually got a little bit of a margin, but geez, the cars are tiptoeing through this. They're on the knife edge through this turn 2. You can just see the rears just wanting to step out, as it's Kiz still trying to keep these guys at bay. This is a fantastic battle for 7th position.
Gunn dropped back to 13th. He was right there with Brett just before, so something happened there that we didn't see.
So Petey just got Esky Man, but Esky Man's trying to fight back here, but he's going to be on the outside of the final corner. Is he having a look to go up and under and get a better run onto the start-finish straight?
And they've let Scar get a nice little break now over 1 second. So they're going to have to knuckle down now, and if Esky's going to have a go at him, they're just going to slow each other down.
Yeah, looked like he had a little bit of a run, but obviously it's such a difficult corner to try and commit. You've got to make sure that you're well and truly up the inside before the braking area to make that one dick, I think, up the turn 1. But here we go, into the troublesome turn 3 on the exit of turn 2 here. So we'll just see how it all pans out.
He's managed to pull a couple of tenths back now on Scar, so it would probably be good for Esky too if he just sat back there for a second till they caught up to Scar, and then they could both attack him at the same time.
Yeah, exactly. Just let Petey do all the work. That's a good point as well. So, and he might benefit if Petey has any little bit of a problem trying to make a move on Scar. So Esky could see himself go from 3rd to 1st at a blink of an eye.
Got himself quite a little gap there, haven't they, over Travis? They've managed to pull out quite a bit of time.
Yeah, Travis is actually in a nice little spot though, because he's not getting pressured by the big pack behind him.
Especially considering we saw him up the back of Cuckoo into that first corner. Sorry, that was Kiz, wasn't it, that he was up the back of?
Yeah.
He's managed to keep going with no damage that's affected him at all.
No.
We'll just put a
And
note
running by
here
himself too, no,
that Brett at the moment sitting in 7th position will be equal on points with Petey if Petey finishes in 2nd, or if Brett moves up to 6th, Brett will still be the points leader for tonight's event.
And Brett's very close to Dat Boy as well, who's very close to Cuckoo, so there's a good chance that Brett could get up into 5th place. Travis might be a little bit too far away at the moment.
Looks like Scar just had a little bit of a moment on exit and is going to look at Petey down the inside here of turn 6, but then he'll be on the outside for turn 7. So it's another great little layout of track that gives opportunities for drivers to be able to defend as well as attack. So it's all about setting up your moment to attack. And we can see that it's usually from a driver making a little bit of an error on exit of the corner. Gives an opportunity as Esky's trying to see if he can have a little look, but thinks twice as in comes Petey down the inside. And Esky might have,
too wide there.
yeah, and Esky might have missed his opportunity to be down the inside at the same time. But look at Scar come back at him around the outside. Now we've seen in race 1 how drivers can defend around the outside of turn 2, I should say.
It was a great move coming off turn 1. He ran wide, but he got a really good run down that back straight and managed to take back the lead. Oh, he's very sideways though into turn 3.
Yeah, as you can see, they are battling, like you said, and they are slowing down because Travis Main, that previous lap, was in the 16s, whereas these guys were in the 17s. He's slowly bringing it back, but here goes Scar again. This is what happened with the previous lap, running a little bit wide.
Petey's up the inside now.
If I had to take a guess, Scar's running less wing on his car. He's certainly got the pace down the long straights, but he does struggle to maintain that pace around the corners.
Yeah, look at Scar go now, but he's gonna just not get the run. But Esky Man's gonna benefit as well. He's gonna tuck under the gearbox of Petey, and or maybe he might even go all the way for the lead, but no. And Scar's just got to be careful of Travis Main behind him now. So Travis it's a 4-way battle now.
There's only 8 minutes left on the clock, so this race is coming down to the wire. 25 minutes plus 1. Big moment there.
Got very sideways going into that turn 3. Maybe it's that lower downforce that he's possibly running there. Didn't help at all.
Yeah, not too sure if he got a little help in hand though with Travis Main. They were fairly close, but it's still race on with Esky Man. It's taken the lead of the race going through turn 2 when we saw the spin of sorry, I missed who it was. Scar. And Petey's got him back through here in turn 6 onto the run down into turn 7. So Petey, and it's looking down in the back here that Cuckoo's seeing if he can make a move on Travis.
Just saw someone run off in the background too, coming off the last corner. I don't know whether that was John Wade, maybe.
Maybe, or yeah, might have been one of the cars that lapped down. Not too sure.
I think Brett's right on the back of this lot too, so he's come through from 10th on the grid, so he could easily capitalise on these guys too if they have any little incidents.
Yeah, most definitely. And this is why these drivers are constantly, you see, at the top of the championship standings. When they don't have a really great weekend, they seem to still be able to bleed points out of the races. And this is what you're seeing from Brett at the moment. Obviously, he took victory in the first race after Gunnar made a mistake, which we missed. But he's carrying on here in race 2 and just slowly picking away in the cars in front.
Gun's not too far behind these guys either. He's shadowing them. He's going to, if these guys dice for too long, Gun's going to be right up there with him, and he's going to challenge Brett to try and get in front of this next lot right in front of him.
Yeah, definitely. So you can see all the battles that he can actually see here. We're really on a driver's seat view, and you can just see what he's seen in front of him, and he's probably licking his lips in that helmet. As you can see, a great battle brewing.
Very close at the front too, it looks like. Esky right up behind Petey, less than 3/10 in front.
Yeah, we'll pick that up a little bit shortly. We'll just see how Gunnar gets through here at turn 3. And it looks like he's got through nicely. But while we've been on board, Jason, you reckon he's definitely been reeling in these guys. As Travis Moan, I think he's got damage from that incident that he did have, because he seems to be a lot slower, and these guys have reeled him in.
Yeah, I'm not surprised at all. It was quite a hard hit up the back of Kiz there before. It looks like he's holding up Cuckoo and Dat Boy and Brett at the moment, so that's going to be quite sporty soon, I think, especially if Gun's able to latch onto the back of him as well. It looks like John Wade might be a little bit too far behind at the moment. Oh no, he's right there. He should be able to capitalise too if these guys start mucking around too much.
And folks, we are down under the 5-minute mark, so there are no further safety cars. These guys are running to the line.
Here we go.
Well,
Brett's just made up one position on Dat Boy.
Yeah, but it looks like Dat Boy's still fighting hard and see if he can hang it around the outside here of turn 2.
Yeah,
They are
you guys do it.
so close, they're wheel to wheel.
They could give him the inside run for the infamous turn 3. And it has, very close there. Brett's dropped the wheel off, but he's managed to hold on to it.
Yeah, nice driving. And he's Gunnar. Some great racing by right through the field. Stu has obviously had a moment because he's way down at the back of the grid. I think he may have visited the pit somewhere along the line.
We've got Norton in the pit, so there's a good chance that he's had another incident. He had one in the first race, and he's back in the pits again.
Yeah, that's very unfortunate to see. He's a bit of a fan favourite, Norbs. But again, what a pit crew he's got though. I think they take away the pit crew dress award for sure.
I'm wondering if he's, oh no, maybe there was a different pit crew to the first time, so maybe they're all just standing around saying, well, we can't help you, buddy, this is not your team.
Yeah, that's right. And maybe he's just trying to make friends in the pit lane, Norbs.
Oh, that's what he's known for, is his friendly demeanour. I think his nickname for years has been Captain Cranky.
Will Brett be able to get himself onto the podium? It's been a tremendous drive by him. And he's got every chance because he's still got plenty of time because we've got that one extra lap. Probably got 3 laps of racing still.
Just noting that Petey has just put the fastest lap of the race on his previous lap with a 1:16.7.
Wow, so he's matched his time from the first race.
Right, Brett S. After taking out the race
Oh,
front.
Brett just got hit by a gun.
So Gunner's had a look. Oh, I don't know if that's a bit of a lag spike there. That looked a little bit weird for John Wade. But he's gone down the order. So that's now given Travis Moan a little breathing space as Brett dropped down from the 5th position after that incident. And Dat Boy's been able to benefit. And I think John Wade may have just a little bit of lag spiking going on in his car. Could cause a little bit of drama for the driver, especially Gunner right behind him. And then we got the bloody 9 right behind Brad Luck. Haven't seen much of Brad Luck actually. He's doing really good. He's in Mark 860's second car. And Mark's just up the road in 9th position.
But he's managed to break the toe of Esky as well. He's managed to pull out a second and a half, so he might, barring any incident, he might be able to cruise home from here. But if there's still a lap to go, you just never know.
This has been a good drive also from Brad Luck. He started at the rear of the field because he didn't finish. He retired in race 1, so up into the top 10. You've got to applaud that drive from Brad Luck. He's done an absolute brilliant job and maybe benefited from a little bit of those incidents early on in the race as well.
It doesn't seem to have had as many incidents as the first race though, so maybe they've, like there's been a few here and there, but maybe they've learnt a little bit in the first one. Try and keep it nice and clean, avoid the exit of turn 3.
Yeah, that's it. No one wanted the wrath of turn 3. But it's Petey still leading this race by a healthy margin of 1.6 seconds because in these intercars, 1.6 seconds is definitely a nice margin to have. As Gunner has been able to get past John Wade up into 7th position. So this is going to be the last lap, I believe, that they're going to have. And it's race on for position 4.
Look at this, they're going to try and go through wide, are they?
They'll try anything they can here on the last lap, I reckon. And oh, it looks like Brett's been able to get down the inside. That's a beautiful move, but can he hold it?
They're going to go side by side into turn 3. Is Brett going to back out? Yes, he does.
Yeah, as we said, anyway, trying to go too wide of turn 3, it does look like you do get taken out onto the grass there, and that's a spin waiting to happen. As these slick tyres do not like to be on this long green grass. But it's Petey. I think it is. Here he is to take victory here, race 2. Well done to Petey.
And put a smile back on his face after the incident in the first race where he lost a potential win.
Yeah, and it looks like Cuckoo's going to hold on to 4th position as is Dat Boy over Brett. So that was a nice little challenge, and Gunner's going to hold on to 7th from John Wade. But it's definitely this man, Petey. He's maybe trying to find his first gear to do a couple of burnouts, but Eskiman in 2nd. He'll be happy with that in a way as he starts to do a little bit of sideways action, stuntman work.
Good job from Travis too, considering he possibly damaged his car hitting the back of Kiz there early on, but he managed to keep it on the black stuff and come through for the podium.
Yeah, definitely. It was really good. And Brad Luck as well, as we said, starting at the rear of the grid alongside, I think it might have been Smithy, all the way up into 9th position. So he was a mover for sure in this race. So well done to him. You always take a top 10 here at Gravel Trap Legends on Monday night. Because it's so hard to stay in the top 10 as we've seen.
It's a very, very strong midfield too with these guys. So it's anytime you can make up positions like that, it's always a bonus.
100%. So there you go. So the end results, we said Petey Esky, man, just couldn't hold on to Petey. The challenge was a bit too much in the end, but Travis Moan, great drive to end up coming home there in third position. Cuckoo in fourth, Dat Boy in fifth, Brett S. couldn't get from 10th all the way up. He was as high as fifth, but got a little bit of a tag from Gunner, we think, into turn 2, which dropped him back into 6th. And then we also then had Gunner in 7th. Retook the lead for place from John Wade. Brad Luck, as we said, in 9th. Right, a great drive from him. And also Mark 860, his teammate, in 10th. The Bloody Nine in 11th. And then we had Kiz in 12th. No Frills in 13th. Bales McKenzie in 14th. Joshua Hill in 15th. Nice drive by Smithy in 16th. G-Dude in 17th. He would have expected to be a little bit higher than that, as is Scar 666. He had a rotten race here in race 2. Pixel Boy in 19th. Chewy in 20th. Max Power again in 21st. And the list will go on. Norbs down the bottom with Stu.
And Petey managed to get the fastest lap again, 16.5. So that's only a 10th behind his qualifying lap. So that was very, very quick.
Yeah, so they're not mucking around one bit there with those times.
And for anyone who has enjoyed the stream tonight, you can get in the action as well. We do with Travel Trap Legends on a Wednesday night, the Shakedown League. There is no registration for that. You just need to be a affiliate on the Discord channel. We'll put a link up to that later in the chat, which I can't do at this stage. I'll try and get that organised for next stream. But guys, Gravel Trap Legends race their Pro Series on Monday nights and the Shakedown Series on Wednesday nights. We might see if we can get one of the podium drivers into the chat to see how their race went out and congratulate them for this evening. Who is our pick for this evening, guys?
Oh, look, I think that you can't go past Petey with the fastest laps in both of these races. I think he deserves to have a little chat and win in both races as well. He's been sensational.
I will try and drag him down. He's coming down now. And good evening, Petey. Welcome to the chat.
Oh, thank you. I was just having a celebratory chocolate. My apologies.
What sort of chocolate, Petey?
It's Cadbury's Black Forest.
Oh, nice. Not Turkish Delight?
Not tonight.
That was a good race there in that second one, Petey. A bit of redemption for the first race.
Yeah. Something happened on turn 2 in the first race. Caught me right off guard, but yeah, I did. You're right. Actually, that was what it was.
Yeah. You had fastest lap in both races, though. 16.5 in the second one, only a 10th off your qualifying lap.
Yeah, no, it was definitely starting to get in, but unfortunately all the battles put the tyre temperatures right up there. There's more pace in that track, but there wasn't much more pace in that car at the time.
We saw a lot of people coming off at turns 3 too. I don't know whether you saw much of that going on, but you managed to make a few positions up on the way back through the field in race 1.
Yeah, no, turn 3 and turn 4 were my best overtaking positions, with people just running wide and getting the sort of the run on them on the next straight.
Was there much of a slipstream down that long straight?
Not for me, there isn't. I definitely got caught by a few people behind me occasionally, but I never managed to utilise that one really. Had to get a better exit out of turn 1 to make it happen.
We saw quite a few people were able to go around the outside of turn 2 as well.
Yeah, that's a brave manoeuvre, that one. I didn't actually see that happen. I was usually on the inside of that one.
Yeah, so you had a little bit of a wild spin. I think it was a turn 2 as well. We caught you in the race 1, which dropped you down the order. So was it turn 2 or was it turn 4 where that happened?
Yeah, no, so it was turn 2. So I turned in a little bit tight, and it happened in race 2 as well. There's a bit of a bump there, evidently, and my car just unsettled and just couldn't catch it, evidently. Caught me right off guard. But I managed to pull it back a fair few positions from there, which was all right.
So what's the point situation now, Tim? It must be awful close between Petey and Brett.
It would be. Brett managed to finish 6th in that second race, so he has the slight advantage on points after the combined for race 1 and race 2. I haven't got the tally at this stage. We'll have to wait for that to come up. But I'm thinking Brett at the moment would be sitting on top of the table in point score. But there's also bonus points for Petey because he got the fastest lap in both of those races, and that will also come into play. So I would need Stu's calculator to actually give you a final at this stage of where that would be sitting on 1 and 2 on the times table.
So, Peter, you must have enjoyed that battle, though, that you had with Esky Man right through the race. He was holding out pretty solid and challenged you for that lead for the good half of the race. But the last, I'd say the last third or so of the race, you started just to manage that gap about 1.5 seconds in front of Esky.
It was, very respectful racing from Esky. You had a really good time there. There was plenty of back and forth and lots of room given. Absolutely full respect for that, and had a really good time for sure.
Yeah, good one. All right, well, go and enjoy that Black Forest or whatever that chocolate that you're chewing on in celebration.
Cheers.
And, well done on that victory and a bit of a points haul for you towards the front of the championship.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Good stuff, Petey.
And I just quickly looked at the points table. There was 20 points separating Brett and Petey on the table, but the bonus for the fastest lap, Brett had 3 fastest laps coming to this and Petey had 1. So Petey will be equal on fastest laps, and I think there is a bonus point or 2 points for the fastest lap. So that could close the margin for maybe 5 points.
Well, that was an entertaining race, guys.
Yeah, Petey's had a couple of shockers too, like that first one. He had a couple of average ones last week too, so if he can manage to keep it on the black stuff, I think he could give Brett a real run for his money there, I think.
Oh, most definitely. And halfway through the season, we've got another 3 more rounds to go. So this championship is really going to be anyone's. As we can see, it's all about just staying in that top 5 if you can every race and just keep salvaging points, and you'll definitely be in a hunt for this championship.
And they're a very tricky little car too for something that's slow. We see a lot of people having trouble with them.
Manual gearbox, I think, is part of the trick with these. There's a very, very high compression lock in the gearbox for these. You really have to wash those revs out of the engine before you can, and you need to blip the accelerator coming down to match your synchronized gear shifts. They're quite a little handful of car, a lot of fun to drive. Probably 2 steps up from the Formula E.
From what I understand too, they're the first car that has the new tyre model that's coming to all the other cars in the 1.5 update soon. So all the other cars will be able to benefit from the little bits and pieces that the Reza guys have found.
Yeah, it's good news as well. So, but unfortunately, that's going to be the end for myself for the series, as I will be missing in action for the next 3, and we're glad that we've got Jason going to join you guys for the next 3 rounds alongside Tim. So, thanks, Jason, for jumping on board, and we wish you guys all the luck in the broadcast for the remaining 3.
And
Thank you guys for having me.
No worries, pleasure to have you on board. And Neil, a very speedy recovery after your surgery. Hope that you get some relief from the pain. Obviously, no one wishes to go through a compressed disc or a split disc in the spine. It's very, very uncomfortable. So all the best, mate, and hope you are back with us soon.
Oh, thanks, Tim, and I will be definitely in the chat watching the stream, so I will be typing away and obviously being part of the action for the broadcasts as well.
No worries. Thank you, guys. You've been watching Gravel Trap Legends, the Pro Series on Monday nights for the Formula Inter Series. And this has been round 3. Jakarappu. I can't even pronounce, so I'm going to give up. All right, guys. Thank you very much. We'll catch you all next week.